Hello and welcome along to the Tan Sri Dato Haji Hassan Yunos Stadium, also known as Larkin Stadium here in Johor Bahru on the southern tip of Malaysia. It's match day 6 in the East Zone of the AFC Champions League, and we are at this charming venue for this Group I clash between Kawasaki Frontale of Japan and Guangzhou FC of the People's Republic of China. Here's a look at how things stand coming into this one. And what's at stake here is a place in the round of 16 for the defending J1 champions, who currently sit in third on the standings after that 3-2 defeat on match day 5 to Ulsan. The equation for Kawasaki Frontale is pretty simple, but it does involve a couple of steps. The first one, that's well within their control. They need to win this game against Guangzhou FC. The second one, that's outside of their control. They need JDT and Ulsan to draw their match. Conditions here, hot, humid. It has cooled down a little bit and is still as humid as ever in this part of the world. Great to see some fans in the stands here at Larkin Stadium, in good voice as well, looking to try and push Kawasaki Frontale on towards the win that they need. Now that game between Ulsan and JDT kicking off at the same time as this one here, and that is pretty much a winner-takes-all encounter at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. So a draw between JDT and Ulsan, combined with a Kawasaki Frontale win, will see the Japanese side lead to the top of the standings, and that will secure them a guaranteed spot in the knockout stage. If they do finish in the runner-up position, they will need several other results from the other group matches to go their way. It will be incredibly unlikely, though. The Kawasaki Frontale will progress to the next stage if they fail to finish top of this group. So these players know what's expected of them. The likes of Daya Tono, Yu Kobayashi, Chanatip Songkrasin, Kei Chinen. Plenty of quality in that lineup despite the raft of changes that they've made. Lots of focus on Chanatip as well. Fans in Southeast Asia always keeping an eye out on players like him. They've ventured overseas to higher quality leagues and play in Japan, and it's had an interesting start to his Kawasaki Frontale career. Some question marks about whether it was worth the signing. He is slowly starting to prove those critics wrong. They won't have to prove these fans wrong. They have been a great voice. Some of the Guangzhou FC fans there in attendance as well. Well, we're almost at the end of a grueling schedule of matches. These sides in the competition playing a game every 72 hours over the last 16 days in varying combinations of the tropical heat, humidity and rain of Southeast Asia. And for this group specifically here in Johor Bahru, we saw earlier, it is very warm here today, lots of humidity, not much of a breeze as well. Not the easiest of conditions, but that is football in this part of the world, and one of the challenges that players in this competition to learn to overcome. It comes down to this one final push for both these sides before returning home, and maybe even an opportunity, however small it might appear, for Guangzhou FC to pull off what would be an incredible result if they could take even a point away from this one. A tough campaign for the young Chinese side, still looking for that first point in the competition, also without a goal in Group I. Perhaps just with that pride to play for, but they do come into this very much the underdogs. Perhaps not something you would have said about Guangzhou in this competition a few years ago during the Evergrande era. They were two-time champions of Asia back in 2013 and 2015 and were very much a force to be reckoned with.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kawasaki Frontale from Japan.
And by Evergrande era, just to clarify, I do mean their former name, now known as Guangzhou FC. A far cry from those heady days with the Chinese side involved in this competition over the last 2 seasons. Essentially, they've sent out very young teams to represent them in the AFC Champions League due to COVID regulations and restrictions back home. And this young Guangzhou side have experienced a series of heavy defeats since match day 1. They lost 5-0 to JDT. That was then followed up by an 8-0 thrashing at the hands of today's opponents before back-to-back defeats to Ulsan, 3-0 and then 5-0. They did put up an improved display against JDT, conceding just 2 goals against the Malaysian champions, even creating some danger of their own, but were unable to find the back of the net. Well, the question is, as they walk out here onto this playing surface at Larkin Stadium, will they be able to do that today? Open their account for this campaign and maybe even just squeeze out a shock result? Well, the odds are heavily stacked against them, but anytime you step on the pitch as a player, there's always an opportunity to show off your quality and perhaps make a difference. Teams going across for the customary pre-match fist bumps. They'll both know what to expect from each other. You very much are looking at a Kawasaki Frontale side here that should be the heavy favorites. And get to bang in those goals against a very inexperienced Guangzhou FC side. Coach Pan Yong-he has spoken about how the performances in his eyes have improved over the last few matches in this campaign. He was pretty impressed the last time out they were in action against JDT. But it's Kawasaki Frontale's first 11 that we're going to be taking a look at, and 9 changes for them from their last game against Ulsan. Probably easier to mention the 2 players who have kept their place in the team. And they are Jung Sung Ryong in goal and Daya Tono in an advanced midfield position. He'll be lining up alongside Chanatip Songkrasin and Kazuki Kozuka in those central positions. Expecting that 4-2-3-1 to move into a 4-3-3 at times. All about the intent. Those are your match officials. The referee from Singapore, Muhammad Taki. His 33rd AFC Champions League match as a referee. He made his debut on March 12, 2014 in a match between Kuito Renhe and Western Sydney Wanderers. That game ended in a 1-0 win for the Wanderers on their way towards picking up that AFC Champions League crown. He'll be assisted by Anton Shetinin from Australia and Faisal Eid Al-Shamari from Qatar. Here's a look at Guangzhou's lineup then. Just the 3 changes from their last game in the competition. That 2-0 defeat to Johor Darul Ta'zim. Coach Pan Yong-he was satisfied with the effort and application of his team in that game. Keeps faith with most of that lineup, including Zhang Zhihao in goal, who actually made his ACL debut in that match against JDT. So Tiancheng comes in for his first start in this year's campaign, his 3rd appearance this year. Liu Shihao also comes in for his 4th appearance in this season's competition, and Tu Meng Han joins him on 4 appearances, so he gets his 2nd start of the campaign. The likes of Ye Runpiao and Chen Zhengfeng come out of the starting 11, while Su Tianxue misses out entirely through suspension. And that all-star lineup on the Kawasaki Frontale bench. They have the big guns they can call upon if necessary, if they'd like to give them perhaps a bit of a run out. And that confidence flowing again before they return to domestic action in J1. They are almost ready to go here at Larkin Stadium. It will be Kawasaki Frontale to kick things off, going from left to right on your screens, playing in the blue and black outfits. Guangzhou FC going from right to left. The red, white and red outfits. Referee Mamataki just waiting for the official go-ahead and the countdown clock. I'll be keeping an eye out on the situation at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium as well. That game between JDT and Ulsan. Just a reminder that Kawasaki Frontale need to win this one, and they are relying on that game between JDT and Ulsan ending in a draw. Countdown's over, here we go. It's Kawasaki Frontale against Guangzhou FC. Now Seko going from right to left already. This is a Kawasaki Frontale side that Love to attack, great in possession. It's a charge down the left-hand side, an early decision for Taki to make. It's come back out to Kei Chinen, and already 26 seconds gone. First shot of the match from Kei Chinen. It's Ten Miyagi, that's exactly what he will be bringing to this Kawasaki Frontale lineup. That pace, the ability to run past defenders, very direct. Two similar players in terms of the profile with Marcinho as well, capable of causing all sorts of issues down the left-hand side. Toru Oniki, what a fantastic job he has done in his time with Kawasaki Frontale, leading them to 4 J1 titles in the last 5 seasons. He's someone who definitely deserves a lot more recognition and respect for the work he's done at this club. It's a club as well that has had to go through a little bit of rebuilding or reshuffling at times. Ball played over the top, Chinen can't take it down. Makes its way into the arms of Zhang Zihao. Frontale losing talent to European clubs. Rio Hatate, the latest in that line of talent to leave. Moving over to Celtic. Likes of Kaoru Mitoma as well. Moving over to Brighton, playing in Belgium on loan at the moment. Morita, Tanaka, players who has moved across to Europe and are doing well. Nachanatip is being pulled back on that occasion by Tu Meng Han. Decent foray forward by Guangzhou. Haven't seen too much of that from them in this competition. We've only had 2 shots on target coming into this game. 10 shots in total from their 5 matches in this campaign so far. And Kawasaki Frontale, the frustrating thing for them. We'll come back to that. See Pan Yong-he, 36-year-old. The staff coach with first team Guangzhou. Start with the reserves as well. He's been entrusted with the job of leading his side in this campaign. It's well defended by Renji Matsui. He's strong up against Li Jiahao. Interesting one as well with Renji Matsui playing at left back, having to come across and track that run of Li Jiahao all the way onto the right-hand side of the pitch. The ball flighted over the top there for Miyagi. Gets it back to Matsui. Floated into the area by Kozuka. That's headed away. Taken down in midfield by Sader. And Koki Sukagawa doesn't want it to run out of play, wants to retain possession and keep that pressure on. Much taken his eye off the ball there, Matsui. Well, just for Kawasaki Frontale, just to go back to that point I was looking to make earlier, this is a side that coming into this game has scored the most goals in the group with 16, have conceded the fewest as well, with just those 4 goals against. And all those 4 goals that they conceded were in those 2 matches against Ulsan. The best attack and the best defense in the group, and yet they've only been able to collect 2 wins so far. Managing 2 draws. Lovely ball played in behind for Chanatip in between the lines. Lifts it over that Guangzhou defense for Chinen. Finds Kobayashi. Deep lying Guangzhou FC defense. Clearing that away. Chen Kun with the header initially. Good movement off the ball. So Miyagi takes it down. Plenty of space for Matsui again to get it onto his right foot. Whips one in onto the head of Chinen. That was a foul in the area. Chinen taking up a really good position to meet the cross as it was flighted in. Couldn't really see too much wrong with that. Perhaps arms up in the back of Cho Tian Cheng. Big header away. It's picked up by Chanatip in midfield initially. Tono. Kozuka picks up the second ball. Tian Cheng just stepping across Chinen. The ball's come back to Kawasaki Frontale. Can push forward again down this left-hand side. Miyagi looking for Chanatip. Can't find him. Goes all the way to the captain, Yang Sin. He's done well there, Ye Guo-chen. Just to hang on to it. They will need more of that from him, playing as that lone man up top, number 77. They are going to be under pressure for large parts of this game. When they do get it forward, helps that they've got a target man in Guo-chen. It will be down to him to make sure he battles with those Kawasaki defenders, keeps a hold of it, gives his defense a bit of a breather. That allows them to push forward into these advanced areas as well. Shader. Poor pass forward by Shader is picked up. Kawasaki. Chinen spreads it out wide to Kobayashi. Helped back to Seko. Yamamura. Kazuya Yamamura. Doing a decent job for Kawasaki Frontale in central defense on the domestic front. Ball's switched out wide to Miyagi. You can't keep it in play. Chen Kun with the loose throw. Looking for Li Jiahao. Chanatip. Kozuka. Very deep, compact block for Guangzhou FC at the moment. Kawasaki certainly have the tools and the ability to break through. The positions taken up by Daya Tono and Chanatip on crossing, just in behind that Guangzhou FC midfield. There's lots of movement in those positions, trying to offer up a line of pass. Sukagawa decides to have a go from range, it's blocked out by Tu Meng Han. Kawasaki central defenders with all that space in front of them to push into. Very little pressure on the ball in these areas. It's lacking that precision on the first touch. Chinen on that occasion to play it off quickly to Kobayashi. Kei Chinen and Yu Kobayashi enjoyed themselves playing against Guangzhou. First time these two sides met. Scored 2 goals each. Yu Kobayashi picking up an assist as well. Li Jiahao, the number 41 for Guangzhou, has been never present for them in this campaign. Always an outlet down the right-hand side. If they can find him in the right sort of spaces, he'll have that opportunity to try and run at his defender, Renji Matsui. That's good hold-up play from Chinen. Helps it on to Tono. In turn, gives it to Chanatip, who drives with the ball at the heart of this Guangzhou defense. Miyagi now. That's a poor cross in the end. A surging run forward from Chanatip Songkrasin. Score the goal like that against Guangzhou. He just essentially cut through that Guangzhou midfield and defense, made his way into the box and finished past the goalkeeper. Fans in this part of the world delighted to see Chanatip Songkrasin back in the AFC Champions League. He was part of Muangthong United's squad back in 2017 and made it into the round of 16. They lost out to Kawasaki Frontale 7-2 on aggregate in that stage of the competition. Well, Liu Shihao held it up well under pressure from Seko. Just making sure he got his body in the way. Took the contact from Seko. Guangzhou FC will take the time with these restarts. Try and delay it as long as they possibly can in these situations. Obviously a very long way to go in the game. A neat play by Sadir. Initially, Tono kept pace with him. Chanatip just exchanging passes with Matsui. And he gets it back from Matsui. And Guangzhou dropped back into their 5-4-1. Deep defensive block. Kawasaki Frontale fans here at Larkin just trying to spur their side on, trying to get an increase in the tempo of their play. Yamamura just looking to lift it into the area. And Chanatip's not very comfortable at the moment. He's gone down in the middle of the pitch. It'll be a shame if it's a big injury for Chanatip. Well, he's just been feeling his calf for the last couple of minutes or so. He needs to get some treatment. This goes down. And hoping he'll be able to continue on. It has been a good campaign for Chanatip Songkrasin on an individual level in the AFC Champions League. Aside from that solo goal against Guangzhou, he also picked up a goal and an assist against JDT. Captured the headlines when he made a move from Consadole Sapporo to Kawasaki Frontale. Certainly caught the attention. And it does look like he will be unable to continue. That is a shame for Chanatip. There's no real need for Kawasaki Frontale to risk anything in this situation. So there's a sensible change to make. Chanatip coming off. It's a shame for viewers in Thailand, rest in Southeast Asia, to see Chanatip coming off. But he's been replaced by Kento Tachibanada, another fantastic talent coming through at Kawasaki Frontale. When I say coming through, he's well established himself in the middle of that midfield. Tachibanada actually had Joao Schmidt in front of him. Well, it's a lovely turn by Chinen. And we have our first goal here. Kei Chinen, straight off that substitution. Scoring his third goal of the campaign. His third against Guangzhou. And it is now 7 goals in the AFC Champions League against Chinese sides. 10 in total for Kei Chinen. Lovely turn away from his marker, Yang Sin, initially. Driving into the box. Clever touch from Yu Kobayashi, who pick up an assist for that. And Kei Chinen. It's this neat bit of play. Spin away from the experienced Yang Sin. And calmly slots it into far corner of the net. Just a question mark about whether Guangzhou FC just losing the concentration with that substitution. It actually looked okay. Doing well restricting Kawasaki Frontale, not allowing them any real clear opportunities. In the opening 14 minutes or so, up until that point. Okay, Chinen, as I mentioned, loves scoring against Chinese sides in the AFC Champions League. Got 3 against Beijing last season, 1 against Shanghai Port back in 2018. or Shanghai SIPG as they were known then. Well, helped on down his right-hand side by Jung Sung Ryung. Just didn't have enough pace on that for Tatsuki Seko. Put him in a bit of trouble. Invited Liu Shihao to put a challenge in. Miyagi up against Chen Kun. Decides not to take him on this occasion. Just there, that example of Kawasaki Frontale looking for those penetrative passes right through the middle of that Guangzhou FC block. Cutting through that midfield four. Flicked onto the head of Chinen. Sent back to Tachibanada. Done well to dislodge Joao Schmidt, who was ahead of him last season for large parts of the domestic campaign. Tachibanada was able to make an impact in the AFC Champions League. An important sliding challenge from Wang Tianqing. Let's come back to Tachibanada. Normally in J1, Kento Tachibanada, Yasuto Wakizaka, from a very good understanding in the center of that Kawasaki Frontale midfield. Wakizaka has got wonderful quality from the set pieces as well. Scored a cracking goal against JDT. He's on the bench today. Midfield partner Tachibanada looking to play it in behind for Renji Matsui. That's Tachibanada. Scored 4 goals in last season's campaign for Kawasaki Frontale. Got a hat-trick against United City in the Philippines, 1 against Beijing. Last season was actually Tachibanada's first playing J1 football with the club. Yes, Tachibanada helps it in field to Kozuka. Can't find a teammate. Cut out well by Seko, then attempts the shot that's blocked off. Intense pressure on this Guangzhou FC defense. Eventually a foul given away. Bit of respite. A bit of skill from Sade. A launch forward by Chang Si-hao. Comes to nothing. And just invites the pressure from Kawasaki Frontale once again. Well, they are doing what they need to do just to win that match, or win this one, hoping for a draw between JDT and Ulsan. Chinen was looking for the run of Tono. It's cut out by Yang Xin. Just come at that Guangzhou defense again. And this time, Kozuka just plays it straight to Jihao in goal. Just an update for you. It is 1-1 between Johor Darul Ta'zim and Ulsan at the moment. So as things stand, Kawasaki Frontale will actually progress as group winners. Still a long way to go. And it is a competition that Kawasaki Frontale want to do well in, the AFC Champions League. All conquering on the domestic front, titles that they've picked up with some ease as well, the way they've cruised through some of those J1 seasons. That's a wasted pass forward again from Kozuka. He was looking for the run of Renji Matsui. It's not on the similar sort of wavelength. Toru Oniki, someone who knows the club inside out. Was a player with Kawasaki Frontale. Actually spent 7 years there as a player. Then he joined the coaching staff in 2007, starting out with the youth teams, moved through the ranks. Was given the job full-time in 2017. Surely a handball there on Taya Tono, and it has been given by the referee Mamataki. That's a clear-cut handball from Daya Tono. Really lively and versatile Daya Tono. Can fill in one of the wider attacking positions as well. They just make those runs from midfield, Tono. Has to deal with that under pressure, and he's done well, Matsui, just to get it away from Li Jiahao, and the space is opened up for Kawasaki Frontale now. Tono has got a chance to bring it forward. Plays it out wide to Kobayashi. He's got space, swings it in. It's only half cleared. It's given Chinen the chance to pounce on that rebound in the area. It looked to have been deflected out. Thought it might have been a corner to Kawasaki Frontale. Instead, it's a goal kick to Guangzhou. Last touch of Kei Chinen. Panic in that Guangzhou defense. Chen Kun didn't get a good clearance on that. Straight off one of his teammates. Almost inviting Chinen to pounce on the opportunity. There's one in midfield by Matsui. Flicked in behind, cleaned up by Sukagawa. I've lost out in midfield again. And Tono's in behind. It's got Yang Sin in front of him just for the moment. Just looking to lay it off to Kobayashi, who's waiting on the edge of the box. Guangzhou defense quick enough to recover their positions and get it away for the moment. It's picked up again by Kozuka. It's quicker to these second balls, Kawasaki Frontale. It's not just the quality that they have in possession, it's the work they do without it. Quick to counter press. They want it immediately after they lose it. Denying Guangzhou an opportunity to get out and try and counter attack. They're so deep at the moment, Guangzhou FC. Kawasaki strangling the spaces in front of them. When they do win the ball back, they can't get out. Tachibanada out to Matsui, back to Miyagi. Kozuka, plenty of time and space to get his head up. Again, looks for that run into the box. It's a really good header away by Feng Yifan. Had to be strong under pressure from Matsui. The ball's just gone out of play. Well, thankfully, a bit of a breeze now blowing across Larkin Stadium. Some cloud cover as well, as we just have a look again at that header away from Feng Yifan. Feng Yifan, the 18-year-old central defender, making his 6th appearance in this season's AFC Champions League campaign. Shot from range by Daya Tono. Let's go sailing over the bar. Looks to try and cut across that on the half volley from Tono. Just gets underneath the ball. Well, they're holding on here pretty well, Guangzhou FC. Aside from that opener from Kei Chinen, coming after that substitution that was made. It's trying to tip left the pitch to be replaced by Tachibanada. aside from that, Kawasaki Frontale haven't really carved them open or created any sort of real danger, clear-cut opportunities. They have been a dominant side, of course they have. They have pinned Guangzhou FC back onto the edge of their own box, but goalkeeper Zhang Jihao hasn't really had too many saves to make. Trying to find the positives in what has been a largely negative campaign for Guangzhou FC. Huge learning curve for a lot of these young players who haven't featured for the senior side in domestic action in the Chinese Super League. And really, Pan Yong-he has got a difficult job on his hands. Man in charge of Guangzhou in this campaign. And all he can really ask of his players, all he can really expect is for them to play with an intensity. Well understanding that this is a few levels above where they are in terms of quality at the moment. And where they are at this stage of their young careers. Tachibanada. Back to Kozuka, who spreads it into Seko, who's actually drifted in field from right back. Some variation to Kawasaki Frontale's setup here with Seko. Finding that he's got a lot of space down the right-hand side, decides that he wants to enjoy himself a little bit more by drifting in field and looking to outnumber those four in Guangzhou's midfield. And not the best of passes from Yang Sin. He's put his young teammate Feng Yifan under pressure. He's done well, the 18-year-old, just to get it away from Ten Miyagi. And just pumped it forward. Look of frustration on Ye Guochen's face. Arm on his hips. He stands at the halfway line, starved of service, and number 77 there. Gonna be a long afternoon for him. And a long afternoon for Guangzhou as the ball's played in behind for Ten Miyagi. With the cutback, didn't have any runners to really hit in the area. You can ask questions of his teammates as to why they didn't gamble in that situation. They weren't ready to take advantage of the pace that Miyagi was able to provide on the left-hand side. Need running off the ball from Tachibanada. There's just too much pace on passing behind from Yu Kobayashi. Zhang Jihao with another goal kick to take, 19 years of age. Made his AFC Champions League debut against JDT last time out. He was in the Guangzhou squad last year, he didn't feature. He was on the bench on 5 occasions in last season's campaign. Given his opportunity against JDT and left his coach impressed. Guo Chen is able to hang on to it. Sadir. They just can't quite progress the ball. Guo Chen is encouraging his teammates, his midfielders, to just hang on to it for a little bit longer. Want a free kick as well. He's done okay, Guo Chen. The lone man up top. When it has been played into him, he has been able to hang on to it. Very, very late flag. It's gone up for offside. Players going off for a cooling break here. Wise decision from the referee Mamataki, the heat and humidity. Some fluids into the system. That's a game that Kawasaki Frontale have very much been in control of. And Jung Sung Ryong, Kawasaki's goalkeeper, not having much to do in this one. Let's have a look at what's going on in front of him. They've pinned Guangzhou back, not just into their own half. Here's another look at that goal once again. Kei Chinen, lovely turn away, just picking off that pass from Kobayashi, that touch into him. Had some work to do, turned away from Yang Sin. That was a nice finish as well. Good quality, kept it low. kept his composure and opened the scoring for Kawasaki Frontale. Kei Chinen, he is someone as well who has been very dependable and reliable for Kawasaki Frontale when they've had to call upon his services. And in J1, he is actually Kawasaki's joint leading goal scorer with 3 goals alongside Leandro Damiao. Chinen has made 9 appearances. He's only made 3 starts for Kawasaki Frontale in J1. He's managed 3 goals in the limited minutes that he's had on the domestic front. Got 3 goals for himself in the AFC Champions League here as well. Cross from Seko, just cut out, and a chance for Guangzhou to just get forward, stretch the legs a bit. With Shade again, it's a poor attempt at a pass forward. From Guangzhou's number 68, Shade Siha. And Chinen just looked to have been shoved off the ball. Couldn't quite take the ball down, made a clever run in behind. Looked to me like there was a push in here from Feng Yifan. He just charged into the midriff of Kei Chinen. He's got his eyes on the ball all the way through. He's following it. I think he's got strong claims for a penalty there, you know, Chinen. Gives the thumbs up for the ball played in behind. I was looking for his run. It was taken out late by Feng Yifan. Headed forward by Seko. Well, they want possession here. Wang Tianqing says it came off Daya Tono last. Certainly looked to be the case. Initially, the throw-in was awarded to Kawasaki Frontale. Team of officials is changing their mind, awarding it to Guangzhou. Matsui. Miyagi. It's back to Kozuka. Found a lot of joy down that left-hand side, Kawasaki Frontale, in terms of the pace that they have going forward and the directness in Ten Miyagi. Very different profiles with Miyagi and Kobayashi on opposite flanks. Here's Miyagi on the ball up against Chen Kun. He's back here looking for the support of Matsui. Not making any headway for the moment. Just wanted to give and go. Instead, it's Matsui. He's able to lift it onto the head of Kobayashi. Back to Tono. Took the time to set himself up for that shot, Daya Tono. His body across the defender. Couldn't get the right sort of contact in that situation, Daya Tono, on his effort. A good strong header from Yu Kobayashi. Just there. A quick touch back into Koki Sukagawa. Yamamura. Right over that Guangzhou back line to Ten Miyagi. Takes it down well. Gives it back to Kozuka. Finds Tono in the box. Lifted it to Chinen. It's kept alive by Chinen. And eventually hacked away by Liu Shihao. Not only as far as Sukagawa. Back to Yamamura. Knocking on the door again, Kawasaki Frontale, looking for that opening, and they've possibly found one here, although it's just gone backwards for the moment. Lifted in by Miyagi. It's come back out onto the edge of the box, spilled by Ji Hao. And shot from Kozuka. Kawasaki can come again, and again it's building up down this left-hand side. Yamamura. Space to advance with it. You just have a look at where most of the football is being played here. Very tight spaces for Kawasaki Frontale to try and break through. Here's another look at that opportunity. The initial cross was headed away by Zhou Tiancheng. And a shot from Kozuka, spilled by Ji Hao, but got help from his defense. Headed up, but it's picked up by Guangzhou just for that split second. A bit of hope as they were in an advanced position. His eyes lit up there, Liu Shihao. Maybe thinking there might have been an opportunity for him to try and test Jung Seung Ryong. Was very quickly snuffed out by Seko. Familiar territory now for Kawasaki Frontale again. Been pretty much camped in Guangzhou's half. Chinen coming across to this right-hand side. It's the link up with Seko. His position taken up by Tono. Chinen helping it into Kobayashi, who's backing into his defender. He's done well there, Feng Yifan, once again. Just to come across and cover for his more experienced central defensive partner and his captain, Yang Sin. Feng Yifan has been strong in the air. One of those perhaps you can keep an eye out on for the longer term. And something that will certainly help his development. The time he played in the AFC Champions League, especially 18 years of age. Still a lot of developing ahead of him. Feng Yifan. For the moment, it's Kawasaki Frontale controlling matters, and it's another important touch away by Zhou Tiancheng. Guo Chen is unable to hold on to it on this occasion. And the pressure from Sukagawa. Matsui. Tachibanara. Yamamura. Scanning for options ahead of him. Finds one in Tono. Able to form a lovely triangle to play it past that midfield. What a goal this could be if they can find the back of the net, which they can't on this occasion. Ten Miyagi just putting it wide. A wonderful flowing football from Kawasaki Frontale, just splitting that Guangzhou midfield and defense right through the middle. Just couldn't get enough bend on that Ten Miyagi. You could see where he was going with the shot. A difficult one to finish from that angle, but a lovely move in the approach, in the build-up to that chance. Now Chinen, just for the moment, vacating his centre-forward position, dropping into midfield. Runners, the head of Kozuka, in the form of Miyagi and Tachibanara, who've made their presence felt in the opposition area. They just decided to recycle it for the moment, Kawasaki. Knee pass played forward into Chinen, who gets crowded out. And again, Guangzhou just cannot escape the pressure that they're under. Kobayashi in space down his right-hand side. Just looking for Chinen in the box. Too much on that cross, and it's a chance for Ye Guo Chen now to sprint away. It's 1 against 2. He has to do it on his own. Support's not arriving. And he flashes a shot, eventually well wide of goal. But he'll have enjoyed himself, Ye Guo Chen. His opportunities few and far between. It's just a clearance, simple clearance played forward. And Kawasaki Frontale, the two central defenders there, Sukagawa and Yamamura, have almost been playmakers for their side, having to do a bit of defensive work, chasing down that run of Ye Guo Chen. He didn't have the quality. Guo Chen trouble Jung Seung Ryong. At least that's registered as a shot. That's a mistake from Shade. It's come to Daya Tono. Excellent last-ditch defending from Chen Kun on this occasion. Well, Shade, Sihake Tiang not having the best of halves here. It was this mistake that had almost allowed Tono to lay it on the plate for Chinen, or to Ten Miyagi rather. And such a good challenge and the clearance away from Chen Kun. Defenders normally in those situations, you're not quite sure where it's going to end up. It ended up as an own goal. He's done well. Corner to defend here for Guangzhou FC. It's come all the way to Sukagawa. It's a poor finish. It's turned into a good pass back out to Kozuka. Sukagawa upping it back into the danger zone. Sade Sihaketiang gets it out for a throw-in. Tachibanada, crossfield pass to Seko. It's quickly closed down by Wang Tianqing. We're edging closer towards that half-time break, and Kawasaki Frontale fans have been doing their best to spur their side on and give them support from the sidelines. On the stands here at Larkin Stadium. They have been very dominant in possession. And they just haven't been able to find the goals as easily as they did in the first meeting between these two sides. Kawasaki Frontale were 5 goals up by half-time. Here, Guo Chen, again, he's done very well there to just hold on to it. An arm up to just discourage Yamamura from putting in a challenge. Took it down well, was able to find support from his midfield runners now, and Guangzhou, through Li Jiahao, they've earned themselves a free kick. A foul from Tachibanada. Decent opportunity here, you know, for Guangzhou FC, for a side that's been sitting pretty much on the edge of their own box. Need quality from this delivery from Jiahao. That's sent in, finds a Guangzhou head. Guo Chen with a wild attempt at goal. And well away from danger and picked up by Ten Miyagi. And Kawasaki now try and push forward again. Chinen slowing things down. Hit away by Yang Sin. Again, it's the second ball. It's picked up by Matsui. Kozuka, so comfortable for him in possession in that deeper lying midfield role. Stringing a few passes together. He's got that space as well to really get his head up and try and pick passes in behind that Guangzhou midfield. Here he is, very heavily involved. Looks to play a lovely ball into the run of Matsui. Good quality on that pass in behind. Matsui is able to just head it back in towards danger. Again, that Guangzhou defense has held firm. At least they've shown that discipline to get themselves back into defensive shape. Throwing challenges, they've been strong in the air. Feng Yifan, Zhou Tiancheng and Yang Xin. 3 those central defensive positions, flanked by Chen Kun and Wang Tianqing. And Chen Kun's got a bit of defending to do as Miyagi cuts onto his right foot. That's a shot away. That's a comfortable save from Zhang Jihao. Not enough zip on that to really trouble the goalkeeper. It's a poor pass forward. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt to say he meant to actually play it into Tiancheng. I don't think he did. His teammate Zhou Tiancheng wasn't expecting that to come into him. Tachibanada, space on the edge of the box. Gets cut out by Yang Sin. Yang Sin, the 28-year-old, the veteran of this side, making his 6th appearance of this campaign. Kobayashi makes a lovely run in behind, trying to find a way past Zhang Jihao, proving to be very difficult. Jihao again with another save. It's a clever bit of movement from Yu Kobayashi on that occasion, looking to add to his 4 goals that he scored in his campaign so far. Just couldn't quite get it past the young man. Really well-timed run. It was close, wasn't it? Zhang Jihao, again it's Kozuka who's got all the time in the world to play those passes forward. Just sticks a leg out. Zhang Jihao gets his reward for standing up as long as he possibly could in that situation and making a save. Justifying his selection, Zhang Jihao. Did well against JDT, conceded just a 2. And here, he's conceded just the 1 so far. Yang Sin has been at Guangzhou since 2014, part of their reserve team. Yang Sin, just like many of his teammates, only made his ACL debut this year. Number 66 for Guangzhou, in the heart of that defense, with the captain's armband. Kobayashi back to Seko. Otaki deciding that he's seen enough. 4 seconds shy of the minimum of 2 minutes that were to be added on at the end of this first half. Kei Chinen it was who opened the scoring for Kawasaki Frontale in the 14th minute with a fine finish after a turn away from Yang Sin. Drove into the box, found the bottom corner of the net. But Guangzhou FC, that young side, has held firm and has kept out Kawasaki Frontale for most of that first half. They can be pleased with their performance going into that 15-minute break. We'll be back for more action from the second 45, but at halftime here, it's Kawasaki Frontale 1, Guangzhou FC 0.
For Kawasaki Frontale, play number 18, Genetic Somdasi, replaced by play number 8, Kendo Tachi Banada. By play number 20, Kei Chinen. tournament with half-time score is Kawasaki. Kawasaki Frontale, player number 18, Chinatik Somnasi. Replace Frontale, player number 18, Chinatik Somnasi. Replaced by player number Frontale, player number 18, Chinatik Somnasi. Replaced by player number 8, Kei Kawasaki Frontale, player number 18, Chinatik Somnasi. Replaced by player number 8, Kei
近くで出し入れできるように、ターンとかもできるように。
Welcome back to Larkin Stadium here in Johor Bahru, ahead of the second half of this Group I Matchday 6 encounter between Kawasaki Frontale and Guangzhou FC. Kawasaki Frontale leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Kei Chinen's effort in the 14th minute. Fine finish from Japanese striker. Decent atmosphere as well here from the Kawasaki Frontale fans and the Guangzhou FC supporters have come in to try and help lift this young side. Now, just a reminder of what's at stake for Kawasaki Frontale. Now, as things stand, Kawasaki Frontale will be going through into the next stage of the competition. It's 1-1 between JDT and Ulsan, and Kawasaki are winning their game here against Guangzhou FC. So as it stands, Kawasaki Frontale will go through into the next stage as group winners. "45 minutes to go here. Another half of football over the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium between JDT and Ulsan as well. As Guangzhou FC make two changes. We'll just get confirmation of those changes shortly.
pasukan Guangzhou FC mengeluarkan pemain memakai jersey nomor 6 dan pasukan pemain memakai jersey nomor 3 Chen.
Well, this Kawasaki Frontale, it's confirmation of the changes that you've seen there. Huang Kai-Zhou coming in for Ye Guochen. Chen Zhengfeng as well, making an appearance, getting his opportunity against Kawasaki Frontale. He comes on for Shade. Sihake Jiang had a poor 45 minutes. He has been replaced by Chen Zhengfeng. So fresh legs for Guangzhou, expecting to do quite a bit of chasing again in this second half. And in typical Southeast Asian fashion in terms of the weather, it's gone from hot and humid to rainy and somehow still humid. A bit more moisture on the surface now at Larkin Stadium. The pitch has generally held up really well in this competition, despite the fact that it's been used a lot. Just a few days ago, there was a rainstorm, and that did cause a few issues for the playing surface. Kozuka lifts it in behind for Miyagi. Heavy first touch on that occasion. And he was such a big threat for Kawasaki Frontale down that left-hand side. Ten Miyagi in the opening 45 minutes caused a few issues for Chen Kun. Well onside in that situation, just couldn't quite take that pass in his stride. I wonder if the message filtered through at halftime in terms of Kawasaki and their chances of progression into the knockout stage of the competition. They have to take care of business here. They need to control what they can by winning this game. Then there'll be an eye kept on what's going on between JDT and Ulsan. That's level as it stands. What an opportunity for JDT as well. If they win their game against Ulsan, they are definitely through into the knockout stages of the AFC Champions League for the first time in their history. And this is a sign of just how much that club has grown over the years with the investment on and off the pitch. And they are in contention is pretty incredible in itself. Keeping up with the likes of Kawasaki Frontale and Ulsan, teams that play top-tier leagues of Asia. And Kawasaki Frontale have got domestic action to look forward to. In return, Shimizu S-Pulse, their first match back in J1, at the end of this AFC Champions League campaign. Some question marks about Kawasaki Frontale and whether they'll be able to go 3 in a row this year. Perhaps some of the criticisms a little bit unfair, and that's come about because of those increased expectations. It's just how good Kawasaki Frontale have been on the domestic front. That's how they've cruised to most of their J1 titles, raised expectation levels, and it's a strange one as well that some observers, Japanese football, are saying they shouldn't be regarded as one of the favorites to do well in this competition in the AFC Champions League, and that they're struggling back home. Strange to see. Anyway, back in the here and now. We just look to be a coming together between two Guangzhou players. The referee has decided to give a free kick to the Chinese side. And Guangzhou FC looking for their first goal of this season's campaign. In fact, if they don't get anything out of today, it'll be 2 consecutive AFC Champions League seasons without any points for Guangzhou FC. It's time for them to try and change that in this one. Jia Hao. And again, His attempt to advance gets cut out by Renji Matsui, and it's Tono in Kerry's side forward through midfield before releasing Kobayashi. Back into Seko. Kobayashi again. Passed, well cut out by Tianqing. Chen Zhengfeng is getting crowded out by Tachibanada initially, and almost found a way through. Pass into midfield. He's done well there, Feng Yifan again, just to cut out that ball. It was aimed for Ten Miyagi. He's looking for the run of Huang Kaito. He's just mistimed that. Huang Kaito. That's confirmation of that. He was well offside as it was played forward. Pan Yong-he, the Guangzhou FC coach, has spoken about the difficulties they've had in this campaign, and you have to imagine that morale must be incredibly low. Although, from a player's perspective, especially if you're a young player, how many out there get the opportunity to say they've played in the AFC Champions League? Definitely something to relish. Great experience, a difficult one, a challenging one, but it's something they'll be hoping can help them moving forward in their development in the longer term. Matsui. It's flicked in behind Chinen. Guangzhou can get it forward now. Chen Zhengfeng. That's good strong play by Tachibanada down the right-hand side, links up with Chinen. Just wanted to turn away from Tu Meng Han, which he did. And the head cover there from number 50, Zhou Tiancheng. Yamamura. Seko helps it out to Yamamura. Sorry, Sukagawa rather. Let's come all the way out to this left-hand side to Matsui. Finds a run from Kobayashi. Flag has gone up for offside though. Kazuka is looking to try and make a run off the ball, but the option wasn't used. Instead, it was played into Kobayashi. He just mistimed his run forward. And he's enjoyed himself, Kazuka, in midfield, stringing a few passing moves together. There's a correction to make here. It was Yang Sin that was taken off at halftime, not Sader Sihake Jiang. Sader is still on the pitch. He's moved back into central defense. I do apologize for overlooking that. Pretty much the pattern of play from the first half as Kawasaki Frontale dominate possession. Plenty of time on the ball for that central defensive pairing of Yamamura and Tsukagawa. A neat pass in field for Seko. A lovely ball down the line for Tono. He's looking to help it across the 6-yard box for that run of Ten Miyagi. Kawasaki Frontale's possession in that first half, 84%. 16 for Guangzhou FC. 12 shots to 2 from the opening 45. Guangzhou's passing accuracy in that first half, 46.7%. Kawasaki Frontale found their way through again on the left-hand side of Guangzhou's defense. It's broken here for Huang Kaito. Surely foul from behind, Kaito. A free kick has been awarded. Kawasaki Frontale is being forced to track back, and Dayatono barging into the back of Huang Kai-to. And they've had a free kick in the first half from a similar position. They haven't quite got the right sort of quality delivery into the box. And here's an opportunity for them to cause a few issues for this Kawasaki Frontale defense. And again, it's a poor delivery, and it's cleared away easily by the first man. This occasion, that was Tachibanada. Chen Kun pushes in field, shakes off the attentions of his marker, Matsui. I was just about to say a decent spell of possession for Guangzhou FC, but they've given it away sloppily again. It's Chen this time. Immediately holds his hands up to apologize. Sukagawa out to Matsui. Just getting clipped there, Kozuka. He's not happy with the challenge from Feng. A naughty little clip on the heels of Kozuka. It was a late challenge from Chen. Feng Yifan, who's done very well for Guangzhou in the center of that defense. Just letting Kozuka know that it's not going to give him any time to turn and try and play another pass forward. We'll have the opportunity to do so from this free kick. A bit of nonsense going on in the box spotted by referee Momotaki. Decides he needs to have a word between Sukagawa and Tiancheng. Kozuka. And cleared away by the first man. Tachibanada. Out to Chinen on this left-hand side. It's given more of a license to roam, it seems, in this second half. Chinen was occupying more of the central spaces in the first 45. There he is, darting in field diagonally, the left-hand side. It was Yamamura. Was looking for that run of Chinen. And Kazuya Yamamura joined Kawasaki Frontale in 2019 from Cerezo Osaka. He played for Kashima Antlers before that. He was at the London Olympics in 2012 for Japan. And he's had to play more of a role for Kawasaki Frontale in the center of that defense with the injuries that they've had, with Jasil out with a long-term injury. They've also had Shintaro Kurumaya, who's only recently returned to the side. Played a big part in this campaign, Kurumaya. In his absence, Yamamura has done a pretty decent job. Alongside on the domestic front, Shogo Taniguchi. Neat touch forward by Matsui. We might just be giving Toru Oniki something to think about as well, Renji Matsui. The appearances that he's had, doing a job down the left-hand side of that defense. Borisato has had injury issues this season. Asai Sasaki has been the option for them at left-back. It doesn't hurt, does it, to have another player who can step in and try and contribute to the cause. As Chinen looks to spin away, he's taken down. It's a clear foul by To. Gets the yellow card. A lovely turn away from To. Was late to that. And space had opened up for Chinen. Actually The drive towards that penalty area, have a shot from range. And that will be his last involvement in the game. Picking up a caution, being replaced. And he'll be replaced by Cheng Shilin. A decent showing by Cho Tiancheng.
Substitution for Guangzhou FC, play number 50, Zhou Tiancheng, replaced by play number 53, Kei Chinen.
Tukar pemain untuk pasukan Guangzhou FC, merupakan pemain yang memakai jersey nomor 50, Zhou Tiancheng, dan masukkan pemain yang memakai jersey nomor 53, Kei Chinen.
Interesting setup at the wall there. Kawasaki Frontale have got players of their own just in front of that Guangzhou wall, trying to block off the eye line of the goalkeeper, who makes a good save in the end. After the attempt from Kozuka, wasn't put off by Kawasaki Frontale's attempts at distracting him. His eyes on the ball all the way through. Good strong save from Chang Ji-hao. Lovely camera work, nice angle as well. You could see he was stretching for that, might just have curled in, coming off the post. Good work from Guangzhou's goalkeeper. He's really repaying the faith shown in him by his coach, Pan Yong-he. Sent in onto the head of Sukagawa. Well over the bar. Ji-hao thumps it upfield. Liu Shihao was always going to lose out in the air. It's a handball, but it's made its way all the way into the run of Chinen. Can't find his way past the goalkeeper though. And the pass forward took a bit of a deflection off the hand of Hong Kai-to. Found himself in a defensive position there. He's helping his side out in the transition. Came to Chinen. Poor contact. The man who's got the only goal of the game so far. And Kawasaki Frontale preparing a couple of changes of their own. Had to make a change early in the first half, bringing on Tachibanada for Chanatip, who looked to come off with what looked like a calf injury. There's Tachibanada on the ball, cool, calm in possession. Another cool customer in Yasuto Wakizaka, getting ready to come on. Along with Marcinho, fresh legs coming off the bench and some wonderful quality to bring on to the pitch as well for Kawasaki Frontale. Guangzhou's players were looking for a bit of a respite. You're not going to get it with these two coming on. Especially not with the pace and the directness of Marcinho. It will be like for like coming on for Ten Miyagi. Yasuto Wakizaka coming on for Dayatono. Wakizaka has got wonderful technical quality, loves to get himself into advanced positions, gets into the box, creates opportunities in behind the opposition midfield line. That's that partnership that I was talking about earlier, Tachibanada and Wakizaka in central midfield. It's wonderful to watch. Tachibanada was expecting Sukagawa to step forward. And that man Marcinho, who is playing in China with Chongqing Liangjiang before his move to Kawasaki Frontale last year. scored in that final win, 5-0 win over JDT. And Chanatip Songkrasin picking up an assist for that finish from Marcinho. It was a fine finish. He's quick, he's direct, he loves running at his defender. Big problems for Chen Kun, a different player to deal with now with Marcinho running up against him. Ball spread from right to left, Matsui. Marcinho with his first touch of the ball. Back to Matsui. Tachibanada, Yamamura, with plenty of time on the ball again. Whipped in by Seko. Chen Kun has done well to come across and cover. He's got his positioning spot on in this match so far, Chen Kun. And number 67 has always done well to tuck in from that right wing-back position. He's been switched on. And here's a chance now for Marcinho to perhaps run at that defense. Sides against that. Instead, he finds his fellow substitute. Wakizaka to Matsui, lovely turn. Wakizaka gives it back to Sukagawa in field. Go from left to right on this occasion with Seko on the right hand side. Just looking for that pass in field to Kozuka. Cut out by Sadir. And Guangzhou have been better in the second half with the ball. Been a couple of forays forward in this second 45 for the Chinese side. Wakizaka turns, quickly plays it forward just to isolate Chen Kun. 1-on-1 against Marcinho. Again, just goes back in field for the moment. Loose touch from Wakizaka. Was picked up initially by Chen Chengfeng. That's one back by Kawasaki again. Tachibanada out to Matsui. Marcinho looking to double up on him. Just the combination of Li Jiahao and Chen Kun at the moment discouraging Marcinho from looking to try and run and charge towards that byline. Yamamura has to go back to Jung Sung Ryung. Will be delighted with that touch. It's been largely uninvolved, not just in this second half, but throughout these 68 minutes or so that we've had so far. Probably one of the easiest nights Jung Sung Ryung has had in the AFC Champions League. Jung Sung Ryung, by the way, making his 61st AFC Champions League appearance. He joined the club in 2016 from Suwon Blue Wings. A title winner with Seongnam, an AFC Champions League title winner with Seongnam in 2010. Marcinho. It looks like he was shoved off the ball there, Chen Kun. He says nothing doing, play continues. Oh, that's a lovely attempt at a pass from Tachibanada. Wanted to find that run from Wakizaka. Tachibanada helps it on to Kobayashi. And flicked in behind by Wakizaka. It's well worked. It's another good save from Chang Ji-hao. Wonderful work from Kawasaki Frontale. They string a few passes on the edge of the Guangzhou penalty area. A touch just falling into the path of Kobayashi. It's a good save from Chang Ji-hao. Another change for Guangzhou FC. Tu Menghan will be replaced by Guo Shuai. Well, he's put in a good shift to Meng Han in midfield. He's worked hard. Gets a bit of a rest here as Guo Shuai, the 18-year-old, coming on. Make his 5th appearance of the campaign. His only start, Guo Shuai, came against Ulsan on the 21st of April. Actually featured off the bench the last time Guangzhou played Kawasaki Frontale, and here he is again.
Player number 72, Tu Meng Han, replaced by player number 75, Guo Shuai.
Bukan pemain berpasukan Guangzhou FC, merupakan pemain memakai jersey nomor 22, Tu Meng Han, dan pasukan pemain memakai
Wakizaka didn't quite get the right sort of contact. There's a shove in the back of Kobayashi. The referee waves play on. Not too much of a claim from Kobayashi, not too many complaints from his teammates as well. I'll just have another look at that. As it's sent in, not the best in terms of the quality of the delivery from Wakizaka, but they will be able to keep it alive thanks to Kobayashi. It looked like a clear arm in the back. Neat touch from Sukagawa. Can't find Kobayashi. Wants a free kick. It was clattered into after he released the ball, Sukagawa. A change in position for Liu Shihao. He's being encouraged at times to get forward. He's playing as that lone frontman for the moment. We're just trying to swap things around to see what might work for them. As Kawasaki Frontale get forward down his right-hand side. Drifted infield, Kei Chinen. Looking for Kobayashi. They've switched positions as well for the moment. Kobayashi has moved infield. Pick up that central striking role. Marcinho does well to keep it in play. Gets it back to Matsui. Kozuka has the run on the far side from Seko. This came into him too quickly. Perhaps he couldn't quite take control of that and played across the face of goal. No matter, the side have picked up the majority of the second balls in this match, and they do so once again. Put Guangzhou under pressure. Tachibanada. Oh, that's an important touch away by Chen Kun. Li Jiahao hoping to complete the clearance. That's turned into a pretty decent pass for Liu Shihao. And he's done well to actually win the free kick of Kento Tachibanada. Well, that's exactly what they're looking for, Guangzhou. It's hard work if you're a lone frontman playing for a side like Guangzhou in this competition, under lots of pressure. Not going to get too much service. When it does come into you, you're expected to make it stick. You need to hang on to it just to relieve that pressure on your side. Liu Shihao doing well on that occasion. It's a free kick that seemed to have been easily cleaned up by Kawasaki. Second opportunity though for Guangzhou. Not enough bodies in the box there on that occasion to meet the cross that was sent in by Cheng Chilin. Only really had Liu Shihao gambling to get into the area to try and meet that cross. Marcinho. Kozuka to Wakizaka. Just too tight on that occasion, and Guangzhou look to try and come away with it. Guo Shuai has done well to skip past a couple of challenges. It's given Jung Sung Ryong some catching practice. Easy enough claim from Jung Sung Ryong in that situation. And just an update for you, it's still 1-1 between Johor Darul Ta'zim and Ulsan. So again, as Wakizaka plays a delightful ball through for Kei Chinen. Again, he's stretching, can't get the right sort of contact. get it past Zhang Zhihao. Clever ball played in by Wakizaka. Just look at the vision on that as well, and nice weight on that pass. Such a tight space. So much of a margin for error in that situation. Just couldn't quite meet the outstretched leg of Kei Chinen. He's looking to add to his tally. But hey, things are going well for Kawasaki Frontale. Bigger picture-wise, the leading here need to win this game. They need a draw in that game between JDT and Ulsan. And as it stands, Kawasaki Frontale are going through, top of the group. A chance for Guangzhou's players just to catch a bit of a breather. Let's look at that passing accuracy again. Slightly better from Guangzhou FC in the second half. It was something like 44% in the opening 45. It's 51.6 now. And still very high for Kawasaki Frontale. They take good care of the ball. 88% for them. And complete domination in terms of the passes as well. 702 for Kawasaki Frontale, 153 for Guangzhou FC. He's done a good job, hasn't he, Zhang Zhihao? Taking his place in the lineup at the expense of He Lipan. And started the first 4 matches for Guangzhou. Committed a few errors, He Lipan, and conceded a large number of goals. Oh, 21 goals. And then Zhang Zhihao comes in, seats 2 against JDT, and he's looked very steady in goal for Guangzhou FC. That's a neat spell of possession for the Chinese side, and again the commentator's curse just comes back to bite me. And Guangzhou look to have worked that one well. Switch of play from left to right. Won it back. Li Jiahao looking for a free kick. Throw-in's been given to Kawasaki Frontale, and Matsui's been denied the opportunity to take a quick throw-in. So Li Jiahao goes down clutching his head. Now, closer look at that. Just goes over under a little bit of pressure from Renji Matsui. I don't think there was too much in it. Tachibanada. Yamamura out to Seko. A lovely leave from Chinen to Wakizaka. Back out to Seko. Headed away. Tachibanada who's moved back into that holding midfield role, picking up the second ball again. Well, lifted into the area. It's Marshall at the back. Again, Feng Yifan keeping track of the run of Yu Kobayashi, allowing his goalkeeper Zhang Zhihao to claim that one untroubled. Headed on by Liu Shihao. Didn't have runners in behind him on that occasion. Has been a good, solid defensive performance for Guangzhou FC. Yes, Zhang Zhihao has had saves to make, but they've held firm, and the last 2 performances have been encouraging. So attempted ball played in behind by Matsui, looking for the run of Chinen. It's claimed by Zhang Zhihao. And easily. See, there's just 2 goals against JDT, this Guangzhou side, and at the moment, just the one here. Of that larger point I was making about how their performances defensively seem to have improved. Something to defend here, though, as Marcinho gets it behind. Oh, it's looking to just lift it over the goalkeeper. But a little bit too much on this attempted finish. And not a good sign here for Guangzhou as Zhang Zhihao goes down, clutching his leg. A well-timed run in behind by Marcinho. And it's Kozuka once more in midfield, able to get his head up. All the time in the world to pick out a pass for a runner in behind. And I've had more of those openings in the second half of Kawasaki Frontale. The finishing touch has just deserted them. The majority of the players in this young Guangzhou FC side all made their debuts senior level in the Chinese Super League. There is one though in Chen Zhengfeng, 21-year-old who came on. He has actually made his Chinese Super League debut. He came on against Changchun Yatai the 19th of December. There he is, number 43. Came on in added time for Yang Liye. We're looking to just try and add on to that if he can, and use this as part of his development. Rain's coming back down again here at Larkin. No floodgates opening for Kawasaki Frontale though. Kozuka. Looking for Chinen. Let's come back out to Wakizaka. They can't find Chinen. Rain really starting to come down hard here at Larkin. So another change is to be made. Chen Kun has put in a very strong shift at right wing back. Was troubled in the early stages of this game by Ten Miyagi. But he stuck to his task well, provided additional cover in defense. And he's put in a good performance in that position. He can be proud of his display. So he goes off.
Player number 67, Chen, replaced by player number 56, Kei Chinen.
Masukkan pemain yang memakai jersey nomor 6,
Now He Shaolin getting an opportunity up front now, more of an attacking change. Guangzhou seem to be going for it. Here's a change in shape, personnel as well. He Shaolin, an attacking player, a big physical presence in the opposition penalty box. Immediately pushed him forward. They are chasing this goal. Guangzhou getting some encouragement from the fact that Kawasaki Frontale haven't been able to put them away. Good header from Sukagawa. Come back out, strike from range. On this slick surface as well from Cheng Shilin. Forcing Jung Seung Ryung to react in that situation, and he comes up with a big save. Goalkeeper who's been called for large parts of this match, being called into action. That's a really good strike from range, and not an easy one to hit. It's falling into him on the volley. Good attempt from Guangzhou, and he'll take encouragement from that situation. Rain really coming down hard here at Larkin now. Nice work down this left-hand side. Play back into Tachibanada. Switches play. Kawasaki Frontale, 85th minute of this match, leading by a 1-0 as things stand. 1-1 between JDT and Ulsan. Kawasaki Frontale look like they're going through. Potential qualification that looked so unlikely for them after that match against Ulsan. They went from first in the group to third. And coming into this one, the chances of progression were slim. And JDT and Ulsan meeting in a winner-take-all clash. That one might just produce the result that Kawasaki Frontale need. If they can hang on or even add to this as Marcinho makes another run in behind. It's crashing back off Sadir. Well, it's made its way all the way through to Kobayashi. Shot straight down the middle. Kobayashi again. Last-ditch defending from Guangzhou, putting their bodies on the line. There's just a surge of confidence now. This young Guangzhou team, as Chinen looks to kill that off with a shot from range. It was earlier from Marcinho. Sadir was able to get a boot on it. And the second time as the ball came into Kobayashi, straight down the middle. Zhang Zihao got his positioning spot on, pulling off another important save to keep his side in this game. Two more changes for Kawasaki. Akihiro Ienaga coming on for Kobayashi. He's a real legend of Japanese football, Akihiro Ienaga. So cool and composed in possession. At times it almost looks like he's able to play football at a walking pace. It's just how good he is, so classy. Akihiro Ienaga has been around a long time. Shogo Taniguchi has also come on for Kawasaki Frontale, adding his experience to that back line. You know, this is an important result to hang on to. And made that swap with Taniguchi coming on just to shore things up at the back. Incredible, isn't it, as it sounds? I mean, against a Guangzhou FC side that have been hammered by almost everyone in this competition so far, they are still in with an opportunity of picking up the first point of this campaign, the first goal of this campaign. May sense an opening. Wang Tianqing just can't keep that one in play. For all of Kawasaki Frontale's dominance and the quality that they possess, the chances that they've created, they haven't been able to punish Guangzhou, and that's given this young side some real encouragement here. Just have a look at their starting position. They've set back deep for most of the match, but here they are pushing up against the Japanese champions. He's able to come away with that. Tsukagawa is pushed into that central midfield role. Continues his run forward. Koki Tsukagawa. There's Ienaga. Plays it into him. Just keeps himself on side. Back to Seko. The ball in behind for Tsukagawa. Can he keep it in play? He can. His attempted ball back into the box was just charged down by the Guangzhou defense. Kawasaki Frontale are just minutes away from qualification into the next round of the AFC Champions League. JDT 1, Ulsan 1. Kawasaki Frontale needing the 3 points here to finish top of the group, which would guarantee qualification into the next stage. And it's Kawasaki Frontale that are looking to hang on. Renji Matsui felt a bit of contact as he cleared the ball. A follow through from Lee Jiahao. Not too much in that. Bit of a follow through. Matsui, I think, knew exactly what he was doing in that situation. Just wanted to slow it down. Imagine that. Kawasaki Frontale slowing it down against this very young Guangzhou FC side. I feel like I've said very young Guangzhou FC side something like 10 times in this game. They have shown really good fight, wonderful spirit. It's a performance that they can really be proud of, a result that they can be proud of. Ending off their campaign on somewhat of a high. 2-0 against JDT, 1-0 potentially against Kawasaki Frontale. After conceding all those goals, the opening 4 matches of this campaign. Just holding it up in the corner here. Chinen under pressure. A minimum of 3 minutes to be added on at the end of this one. Can they do it, Kawasaki Frontale? Can they see this one out? They're on their way to doing that, controlling what they can, just coming into this game, making sure you picked up the 3 points. They're almost there. And then what is out of their hands, that game against JDT and Ulsan, but that's going their way too as well, as it stands. Into the closing stages of that match. That one is into added time as well. Well, Guangzhou headed towards just 1 goal in their last 12 AFC Champions League appearances. They don't score these last few minutes. And the last side to concede a goal against them was Port FC from Thailand. 9th of July last year as Kawasaki comes streaming forward. Ienaga, it's exactly where they wanted to be. Just hangs on to it. The veteran, using all his experience and his quality, invites a couple of defenders to close him down before finding a teammate in space. Comes back out to Ienaga. Heads towards the byline, cuts it back onto his left foot, finds Sukagawa. They're not interested in sending it into the box. Just killing off the match at the moment. Desperately searching for any sort of confirmation from the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in terms of that result. Still at 1-1 at the moment. Both sides, both JDT and Ulsan, staring at elimination from the competition. Instead, it will be Kawasaki Frontale who will go through. As Seko goes down under that challenge. It's a poor challenge from Chen Zhengfeng. Now Frontale will just look to keep it there in that corner. Not Chen Zhengfeng with a chance to lift it forward. And that's it. Kawasaki Frontale have done their part. They picked up the 3 points that they desperately needed coming into this one, as they hope to finish top of the table. We're still waiting on the final result from JDT against Ulsan. That, as it stands, is 1-1 into the 3rd minute of added time. And as it stands, Kawasaki Frontale have done enough to go through into the knockout stages of the AFC Champions League. What a turnaround it's been. Toru Oniki looks on in hope, wondering what the final result will be. That match between JDT and Ulsan from the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. But it has ended here at full time, courtesy of Kei Chinen's 14th minute opener. Kawasaki Frontale 1, Guangzhou FC 0, and this win could be enough for Kawasaki to progress into the knockout rounds of the AFC Champions League. The players wait in anticipation for any sort of news from the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. That will come soon. Oh, it's heartbreak. Just receiving news that JDT have scored a very late winner against Ulsan. Heartbreak for Kawasaki Frontale. But it ends here at Larkin Stadium. Kawasaki Frontale 1, Guangzhou FC 0.